Welcome to the Incline Interviews podcast, where I hike with local incliners and you get to hang out with us. My name is Trevor, and today we're hiking with Rick Webb.
Hey, my name's Rick Webb. I'm a local Manitou resident. I'm a trail runner here in town, and I teach PE. Let's go do the incline.
All right, Rick, thanks for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Trevor.
Okay, Rick has done a couple of amazing accomplishments. The first one I want to note is he climbed on two separate occasions 400,000 vertical feet in a single month. And then also he's really big into trail running. He placed within the top 4 finishes of the Ascent and the Marathon for 2 years in a row, 2024 and 2025.
Yeah, thanks. It was pretty cool to do it. The Vert challenges were super fun. Just spending the entire month on the mountain. It was just amazing. 7 times a day, every day. So it was 2022.
Yeah, that's pretty incredible. 400,000 feet in a single month is 7 inclines.
Well, it's 438. 563 was the number. Oh my gosh,
it's even more.
Which is like 147 feet a day or something like that.
Yeah. So you did 7 inclines every day for 31 days straight.
Yeah.
How did you do that?
Yeah. I don't know. It was like, again, the community out here, the people, and just my love for the mountain. I don't know, it made it fun, made it easy. It was really not like feeling like, I'd rather do that than go to a job every day,
Yeah, well, that's pretty amazing.
So
that's quite a test on the body.
Yeah, and to be honest, I think the whole thing is way more mental than physical. It's getting yourself up and out when you don't want to, when you've been doing it for 7 to 8 hours a day every day, because I wasn't going slow when I did it. I would climb, I think I was averaging about 15-minute ascent or up and down.
50 minute
up and down.
And then any recovery at the bottom, or turn and go for another one?
We had aid stations at the bottom, so we had food and snacks. So I would get replenished on that, have some tailwind, grab a Honey Stinger waffle or something.
Oh yeah, they were one of your sponsors, right?
Yeah, they sponsor Honey Stinger. I actually had small sponsorships from Honey Stinger, Scratch, and Tailwind all that month, so they sent me product.
So that's really cool. We'll get into...
Really helped.
That's incredible, yeah. Especially have all those products and stuff whenever everybody needs it the most.
Well, it's a good mix of like real food. Like Honey Stinger's got a lot of good bars and like nut bars and seed bars and just high protein bars. The waffles are great, high carb. And then,
they're pretty good too, actually.
Yeah,
usually that kind of food is like cardboardy.
Well, it's gotten so much better over the years too. And compared to like goos and gels.
Yeah.
I'm not really, not that I don't like that kind of stuff.
Is it harder for your body to tolerate them?
I just kind of feel like real food, when you can have it, is going to definitely make a difference. Liquid calories and gels, obviously just for efficiency. And because of all the calories I was burning, it just made sense to, consume most of them via liquid. But then because I was burning so much, I know in 2022 I was eating tons of pizza and pasta. My dad was out for the first week, and
climbing with you?
No, he was just out.
Okay.
He wasn't climbing with me, but he was just
helping
out.
Support you at the bottom?
Yeah, he helped get me food afterwards.
Oh, that's so cool.
It was really just the first few days. It wasn't, I don't think, the first full week, but it helped a lot.
From a mental standpoint, to have that kind of support.
To have him start me.
Yeah.
It was like a lawnmower just like getting me going kind of thing.
I like that.
And then once that happened, it was like, I didn't really start to feel any pain in my body the first time until like last week.
Oh my gosh.
In my patella tendons, just right above my knee.
Yeah.
And it was really just on the downhill. The downhill's brutal.
It is brutal. Well, we'll get into more details on that in a little bit. Let's go back. Let's go back a little bit. Have you always been a big runner growing up?
Yeah, I grew up playing soccer. So I've always been like cross training as far as running goes. I grew up in Iowa next to a river and like some bluffs. So I was always running in those. Not like I do today, but I would run my dogs back then just as a cross trainer for soccer.
How old were you when you started running on your own?
Well, when I was like, you mean like just out?
Yeah, like when you decided,
I
I
mean,
kind of enjoy running.
well,
I'm gonna go for a
definitely-
run, Mom.
Definitely high school, if not maybe middle school. I mean, I was pretty, you know, we lived in a pretty nice area, so like I had a pretty good range. And then with the trails, you know, I could kind of stay close to home, but also still, you know, go run out and kind of there's like go to the river. We had creeks and stuff, so I was pretty young, but it really boomed once I got out here after college. Just being in the mountains.
Yeah.
So.
And just being curious on like what's on that.
Yeah, well,
mountain
just
peak.
like kind of just, you know, I was kind of a big RPG player back in the day, playing video games and stuff, and
What were your favorite ones?
like Skyrim and Oblivion, Fallout. So like, I always try to. This is kind of what I tell my kids, the kids I coach, is like, because they all play video games. It's like, well, your character. To be able to go and do what their character's doing, like, they have to be super fit.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, don't you want to be able to do what your character's doing? So that's kind of how I feel when I'm out adventuring and just
It's a good way to
finding new
motivate a
trails.
kid.
And like, even for me though, I feel like it's just like I'm my own avatar, and like, let's
Yeah.
go adventure and find some new things and see how far I can go. And that's when I kind of discovered, like, the more you do, the more you can do, and you can keep going. And so. Yeah.
It's so much fun getting on top of a new peak that you've never been to.
Oh yeah, well, and even, I mean, that, but also just like doing the same peak and finding different routes up that peak. And
Right.
like, just like, I love Rocky Mountain. On top of the incline, we call it the advanced incline.
Yeah, there's so many different ways
Oh,
to get
yeah.
up there.
And like, I mean, I love, yeah, coming from the backside from experimental,
Yeah.
coming from the front. I mean, it connects to, I think it's at Bob's Road. So there's just so many ways to get up there. It's really cool.
You ever see any big moose out there?
You know, out here on our side of Pikes, I have not seen moose. I've only seen their poop,
Okay.
but I've not seen moose. I have seen moose on the west side near Sentinel Point. But
I got a cool video to show you. Then I saw some moose earlier this year, 2 female ones, and
yeah,
right there,
no way, up right up here.
right at Rocky Mountain Peak.
Oh,
Right at the base, right before you start to head
Yeah,
up.
I believe it, because again, that's kind of where I see the poop, and definitely
Yeah.
over by No Name.
It was real early in the morning. It was pretty
So
cool. So you said you played a lot of soccer, so you probably
Oh, yeah.
had some coaches that were pretty influential in your life. Can
Yeah,
you
I had-
Tell me about them.
I had a couple coaches from Scotland that really, you know, helped when I was a kid. I just feel like I related a lot to them, and they were just huge influences in my life as far as, I don't know, pushing, I guess, when I'm tired. And so they were just, I was very fortunate to be able to go and play club soccer when I was a kid, because not everybody, you know, has that opportunity, especially in America. So I'm very blessed to have that opportunity to grow up, you know, playing under people who know what they're doing, you know.
And club soccer is pretty competitive, right? There's,
Oh yeah, we were
they do
traveling all the
brackets
time.
and traveling, and
I mean, we traveled all the time. I went to Florida many times to play. You know, we grew up in Iowa. It was actually funny. I went to Florida for a 3v3 tournament and ended up losing to a team from Iowa City, which was 30 minutes from us. And so that was hilarious.
dang.
But-
Well, I think it's neat that you were influenced so much by these PE coaches, and then now you yourself
Well, yeah,
are a
and
PE coach.
speaking of that too, my elementary PE teacher is huge influence. He was just amazing. Always made everything super fun, and you know, kind of increased my love for movement. And that's kind of what I want to instill in my kids.
Yeah, it's such an important love to have.
Oh yeah.
Is just get out and
Well, and especially
do
when,
anything, just move.
when so many jobs today, even if they do pay well, you're going to be sitting down in front of a computer,
Exactly.
you know. And so, and I was just having a conversation with a runner the other day about how they, you know, they sit down all day long, and they still, you know, it's still a struggle to like make sure you are moving enough to make sure you don't have pain anywhere, because you sit so much. It's just like you have to move.
Yeah.
You know, and so many people think, oh, I'm in pain, I shouldn't move. In reality, have to move it.
Yeah, usually you need to stretch
within
something.
reason, you have to do some sort of movement to help it.
That's right.
You know, you can't just stop cold turkey. So
then you get tighter, then you get more pain, and then it just keeps getting worse. I can relate to that. I have a job where it's behind a computer, and like at the end of the day, my neck is aching.
Yeah.
All that.
Well, and even with that, like just having the idea of like movement is so important. Like there are ways even with that, like you can sit on a yoga ball, or you know, stand-up desks, or
that's right. Yeah, I have
like,
a stand-up set up in the garage.
Or like I have a gibboard. If you know what those are, it's like a mobile slack board.
Balance on it.
Yeah, it's a slack board with a slack line on a board, so you can move it anywhere.
And you're standing on a slack line?
Oh yeah.
Oh wow.
So awesome. I'll show you something. It's so fun.
Yeah, that's
but it's
cool.
great for stability, mobility, recovery. But then if you're working, it's also a good thing if you're working from home.
Yeah.
To just jump on that. What's up, guys?
Morning.
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 Morning, guys. How are you guys doing?
Doing well.
Doing your podcast. I'm gonna
Sure.
Oh yeah.
nice.
Great to see you, man.
Good work, guys.
Good morning.
Good work.
Good to see you guys.
I have this in the garage. I also have like a bench press set up next to it.
Yeah.
So on arm days, in between meetings, I'll be pumping some weights.
Yeah.
And I'll stop my meetings and just be like everyone thinks I've been running or something. It's kind of funny.
Well, and that's really all it is too. It's like just like finding that
just
if
a
you
moment,
have a hard time getting going, like that's what it is. Like just trying to find that 5-10 minutes in the day, and then it'll start to grow, you know.
Yeah, you're right though. The hardest thing is to get started, like mentally.
Well, I know when I was doing my 500 club, you know, that was, I'm member 17 of that. I did that in 2021. I just remember it was 10 times a week was my goal for the week, for the month,
So
or
10
for the year.
inclines a week so that you could get 500 in a year. That's what the 500 club challenge is.
That would pretty much get me right at 500. And so I remember, I mean, there was just some weeks, you know, especially 2021. I don't know if you guys remember, but there was that was the last smoky year we had. I mean, that was a really smoky year.
There were some big fires, like the top 3 of the 5 biggest wildfires in Colorado.
Like I remember
that year.
I did Cameron Cone that year, and I mean, if you've ever done Cameron Cone, it's one of the best views of Pikes Peak. It's right there.
Yeah.
And I was on top of Cameron. I could not even see Pikes.
Oh my gosh.
So
the smoke was that
So there
thick.
there was definitely days, you know, that I'm like, I don't want to climb, you know, and like, and then on top of that, I didn't really want to climb just because I didn't feel like it was, you know, good for my health to go out and smoke like that.
You
So
just get covered in smoke.
You know, trying to go early or late, you know, to try to avoid the midday, you know, high of the smoke. But
so you how did you end up in Manitou Springs? That's something I'm curious about.
The Incline, I think, is kind of what drew me here. You know, I was living over by the Broadmoor when I first moved to the Springs, and you know, I was running a lot in Cheyenne Canyon.
Beautiful place.
I love it, but I never go there anymore. Now I'm in Manitou. I just never get over there.
Have you ever bushwhacked from over there to over here?
I've gone, yes.
Because that's a fun.
Yeah, I've actually done a loop all the way over there, and then through, was it Crystal Park?
Yeah.
Through Crystal Park, bushwhacking.
Yeah, by Sentinel Rock.
And I just it connects. It goes, and so.
That's a neat loop.
It's a lot. It was an awesome loop, yeah. But then, you know, being over there, I found the Incline. I think my first Incline was in 17. By 19, I was, you know, trying to do the Everest. I think I was talking with the Costello's podcast.
And that's how many
pretty much
feet in a day?
Well, so
29,000, right?
I was really just trying to do 2 a day. 2018 was when I was like, let's just start going and seeing what I can do, because I started, you know, I met Bob, I think in 2018, ran down once, it was first time with him, and realized that if I'm going to get faster up, it's running down.
That's right.
That's immediately when I started getting faster up. And so 2019, I was like, I want to try to do it multiple times, you know, in a week. Did it twice a week. And then, well, like while I started doing that, my buddy from high school, actually, who's a runner, who I grew up playing soccer with, he was like, he told me about the Everesting challenge, which is just to do the amount of Vert of Everest, which is 29,029 in a day, or in one effort. And at that time, I was definitely not ready to do that. So I did that in 5 weeks. I did 3 So instead of 2 a week, I did 3 a week for 5 weeks, and that got me my 15, which was
equivalent to the
equivalent
Everest
to
thing. Yeah.
Which
That's a great way to get into it.
Which is nuts to think about, because in the Vert challenge, I was doing that amount of Vert basically in a day.
Yeah.
Well, minus 1,000 feet. So I was doing over 14,000 a day. Yeah, so, which is just like
incredible.
It's just insane. Like, I mean, during that 5 weeks, I met a lot of people. I met Steve. You know, I probably had already met Steve during that time, I think. But I just remember during that time is when I just like, I want to do the 500 club. So
you started getting into it, doing it a few times a week, and then maybe you were influenced by Steve or some others, and they told you about the 500 club.
Yeah, well,
and is that when the wheels started turning?
Well, I'm not entirely sure the exact date. I remember, you know, hearing about the 500 club, but I remember Steve saying that he's doing his doubles, and because every time I was doing it, I'd see him.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I mean, I was only doing it every other day at that point, really.
You're like, why are you always here?
Yeah, you know, start to probe a little bit, find out that, you know, he's kind of maybe one of the, you know, first to do the 500 along with Greg. And, you know, Steve was telling me the way it kind of started was that, like, him and a few others were, you know, they live out east, and so they come over here and let's just get 2 done.
Yeah.
And then,
okay, because it's such a long commitment.
It's just a, you know, like 30-40 minute drive, and so let's just get 2. And that's kind of how the 500 club started. But I'm just like, you know, seeing them, I'm like, these guys are great, but I'm also a lot younger. I can do that for sure.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you know, let's do it.
It just takes being stubborn, right?
Yep.
Being consistent.
Yeah, and in 2020, you know, talking about being stubborn, I wanted to start in 2020 because I was super inspired by Greg's world record. You know, when he finished his 5 a day every day for the year.
With diabetes, absolutely incredible.
Yeah, amazing guy. So that was super inspiring, and I'm like, I want to start the, you know, the 500 now.
Yeah.
But then I had an opportunity to go out to Grand Junction to coach, and that then kind of got fizzled because of COVID. And then that's when I found my place here. Mm-hmm. And so that's when I was like, well, now I'm here. I really want to do, you know, the 500. So I kind of finished out 2020, you know, just like with, I think, just like 100 or 200 climbs. Like, it wasn't a lot. I think it was like 200 maybe. And then just decided 2021, we're going. And
so you started January 1st?
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice. Easy to remember.
Yeah, and that's why, like, I remember, like, in the summer, during the fires, there was a point kind of going, I think, into like September, where I was like 1 or 2 weeks behind the goal.
Oh, that's got to feel so stressful.
And so I was like, oh, I got to, you know, pick up a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, Steve is the Incline accountant, you know, so he was, you know, every week
with those awesome spreadsheets and
Excel spreadsheet,
mapping it for everybody.
And color coded.
Such a great contribution.
So awesome. So,
yeah.
You know, you need a 1.3 average to finish that. And so that was easy to keep track of that way. But then that was the first year we did the October challenge. And I did like 93 or 4 inclines in October, which then propelled me way over. And I ended up finishing like 5 or 6 weeks early in November. So.
Way to go. That's awesome.
Yeah, it was awesome.
That Verttober really built a lot of
and that
momentum.
first time was just like, I wasn't really going out for goals, you know, I mean, other than just trying to finish my 500.
Yeah.
But I was doing like 3 a day.
And then there's so many people here, it kind of makes it a little bit easier.
Yeah.
You're not so bored and alone.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good time. Like, I remember, you know, Bob and I, you know, we were friends before that, but we definitely became really good friends during that time. And like, we were just like, anything we'd find, any rock or anything, just like try to climb it, you know, just because we're just trying to get Vert. And so.
Was that the year you were nicknamed Ricky Bobby?
Probably. I know we had a shirt made for 23. It was like the legend of Ricky Bobby. So. Yeah.
So when you're doing the 500, obviously you're here all year round.
Yeah.
Rain or shine.
Yeah.
Is it easier to climb in the snow and ice or in the heat of the summer?
Snow climbs are the best climbs.
Yeah.
I would say. So, I mean, and it's crazy. I think so many people think they're like, I'm going to avoid the heat. I'm going to go early. I'm going to go like 8 a.m.
Yeah.
But then they don't realize they're going to be baking the entire time. The sun is right there. We're lucky. I mean, we start early enough.
Yeah, we got a
so
little.
it's still chill. but give it 2 more hours and it's gonna be really hot. You know, the sun right on your backs. So to me, if I'm gonna climb in the summer, it's gotta be sunrise or like when the sun's on the other side of the mountain.
Yeah.
You know, like 5, 6 o'clock.
That's actually one of my favorite times to also climb is sunset.
Yeah.
Because there's nobody on the trail at all. It's amazing how.
And
Sometimes, like on a Wednesday at sunset, there's literally nobody on the stairs.
it's dead. And in the summer we have a chance of storms. So then that's when I normally see a rainbow. You know, looking east.
Okay.
So.
And then you have a photographer background, so.
Yeah, I actually think one of my shots is in the Incline base camp of the. I think it is my rainbow shot.
Yeah.
In the Incline base camp.
So you know when to get those awesome shots.
Well, speaking of that, like inversions are some of the best times to come up here. I always tell anybody, like, if it's cloudy in the springs,
Yes.
go climb.
Yes. If it's ugly down here, it's gonna be nice up there.
There's a very good chance it's gonna be very nice up there.
Yeah,
And we're lucky we have the summit camera of Pikes Peak. So if you're ever curious, you know, if it's cloudy, check that, and then you can see if you're above. I know there's been times that I've been chilling in the morning having coffee, check the Pikes Peak camera, and see that it's an inversion, and just been like, all right,
You're like, this is
we're
it.
going up.
This is the moment. Those inversions are wild. If you've never heard of them, it's basically when there's a low cloud floor and you climb above the clouds and it looks like the clouds are the ground and the sun is above it.
To me, it kind of feels like the ocean. It looks like the ocean. It's like a slow moving body of water.
I can see that.
Well, because clouds are, you know, a form of water anyway. But it's just really, really neat. Morning.
So during your 500, did you have any injuries you want to share? Or
500, no. There's no
injury
injuries.
free?
Not that I can remember. Nothing that really slowed me down too much. I don't know, I feel like my first real bad injury was in 23 when I sliced my knee.
Oh
in
yeah,
the
that's a
marathon.
rowdy scar you have.
Oh yeah, it was epic. It was all the way to the bone.
Yeah, let's jump to that. So you're a huge trail runner.
Yeah.
You've finished in the top 4 for the doubler, which is the Ascent and the marathon.
Yep.
You've done that 2 years in a row.
Yep.
What year did you mess up your knee? Tell us the story.
That was actually the first year I did the marathon, which the first year I did the marathon was in 23.
Okay.
Coming off of the Vert challenge. Or no, it was right before the Vert challenge. It's right before the Vert challenge.
Yeah, because it's in like September. Or was it August back then? It might have been.
No, it was September. It was like, I remember, I think I had 2 weeks or maybe a week because I sliced the knee, couldn't walk.
It's just like the scar is wild. You can see that big purple scar.
I couldn't walk at least for like 3 or 4 days. You know, I was using crutches and I had to climb. I had to do I was trying to do the Vert challenge.
Yeah.
You know, so that was the second 400 that I did.
Yeah.
You know, coming off of this. A week, like pretty much a week. I mean, I recovered like a week and a half, and then like I really didn't do anything that week and a half. And then day 1 of the Vert challenge was, 10 laps. I think that was the first time I ever did 5 laps before sunrise.
5 before sunrise is
That was
like,
epic.
You have to start really early.
We started at midnight. I mean, we
Yeah.
were like 12:01, and I think.
I've only done that once, and I
So
had
by this time in the day, I
Yeah.
was like on lap 6 or 7.
Yeah. You've been around kids too much. If
Too
you're doing
much.
that.
If you don't get that, I appreciate that, and I envy you.
I've only done 5 before sunrise once when I did my Incline-a-thon, but I had a time change in my favor, and
yeah.
it was the winter, so the sunrise was late. So way different than yours.
But yeah, as far as like climbs go, definitely the snow climbs. And I don't know how much we talked on that, but like I definitely love climbing in the snow. Running down in the snow is fun.
Yeah. So
just
what makes
like,
snow and ice better than the heat?
well, it's just, I don't know. You can always put on more layers.
Yeah.
You can only take off so much, and so if you're cold, I don't know, like move faster,
Right.
or
Get
put on
warmer.
more,
Yeah.
or put on more layers. But the heat is just drags you down. And
When it's
like, seeing this snowing, like when you see the flakes hit the stairs.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And it's stacking up on the trees and stuff, and
It's just magical up here in the snow.
it's pretty cool.
It's awesome.
I love running down in the snow too because your foot placement isn't quite so important.
Down here, you can just like slide through.
Yeah, you
don't
can
really.
just sprint it, and it doesn't
Yeah.
matter because it's
Yeah.
all built up and there's not really steps anymore.
Yeah.
So no injuries during that, but you said you crossed the
And then-
finish line of the marathon.
Yeah.
and you
So
had your knee. cut.
So
Let's
yeah,
jump
when
back
I
to
sliced that, I was like a mile and a half to go. It was like right before Runner's Gate. I saw Peter. He was taking a picture, and I was like, Peter! And like through the turn, literally milliseconds after, and I have that picture, which is just crazy to think. Like I literally have like the milliseconds before I fell, and then just slipped like that.
Yeah.
Out from underneath.
And was it a rock that cut you?
So going back, I think it was actually like a nail.
Oh, okay.
On like there's some of the ties and stuff
the
through
steps.
the trail just to keep erosion and stuff.
Did you get a tetanus shot after?
I didn't.
Well, you're still here.
Yeah, I'm still here. I got stitches at the finish line though. That was epic.
Wow.
I remember I saw Brad Taylor and I was like, like look at this, and he's just like, what?
I mean, it must have been bleeding a lot.
Oh yeah, I mean I had
had
blood
to have
all the way down my shoe and sock, all had blood on it.
Yeah.
But like, so I fell, immediately tried to get back up, and then immediately had to go back down. And I was like, yeah, okay, I gotta sit for a second.
So you got the stitches and then ran down on the stitches?
No, so the stitches were at the finish line.
Oh, okay.
But when it first happened,
I see, okay.
I tried to keep going, couldn't, had to sit down for a second.
Wow.
And this guy that was going back and forth with me like all race was like, yo, you good? Like, do you need help? And I was like, that was all it took. I was like, no, I will get myself down.
Yeah.
I am good.
I don't
And
need help.
I was able to hobble, like I was jogging, I ran the rest of it, which is, it's sucks because I was really feeling pretty good at that point. Like I was pushing. In the picture, there's a guy right behind me. And so like, it was just an epic moment. And then, I fell and had to finish. But like, it's just, again, talking about doing things when you really don't want to, or when they're hard, or,
Yeah.
like that's one thing trail running has really taught me is, well, in sports in general, athleticism is just grit is important. Knowing when to, like having the ability to keep pushing when things are hard and you don't want to and you're tired. And
So it always
or
seems
hurt.
like there's more in that gas tank.
Yeah.
When you think you're empty, it's like, you got a little
I know,
bit
I
more.
think there's a stat out there where if your brain is telling you you're tired, you're actually only, I think you're only 60% done.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
And so you have 40% left in the tank. When when your body is saying you're tired and done, you're actually almost half.
Yeah, you're only at half.
So like,
So you got it.
you got it. And
Push a
back
bit
to,
more.
what I said about most of this is that I feel like it's mainly, I mean, obviously you have to have good physical ability, but you have to have a strong mind to be able to do this and climb and push through. And
Especially doing 7 a day on average.
yeah, I mean, there were definitely moments where I think Eric Klebs calls it lizard brain. I call it zombie brain.
Yeah.
But it's just like, you've been out for hours, you're probably calorie deficient, you probably need some water, and you start to kind of, I don't know, it's better, for lack of better explanation, it's kind of like a hallucination. So,
But you're just pushing.
you push through that, and I've noticed too, when I get to that point, it's like, definitely need to eat, and I usually can snap out of it pretty quick. But, I mean, yeah, it's crazy. I mean, it's just like pushing your body to the brink, pretty much,
That's when you're most likely to get injured.
Oh yeah,
So
that's
you
when
start stumbling, and
Yep,
especially
well,
on something like this.
I know, like when I'm doing a fast, long effort, like the marathon, why I fail, why most people do fall is because you don't pick your feet up, you end up hitting a root or a rock,
Yeah.
just don't pick them up enough, and
Some
just
obstacle.
kind of, that happened to Bob yesterday up in the peak. He was at A-frame and
Anything serious, or is he good?
no, he's fine. He fell like 6 times.
Just stumble. Oh.
Yeah, no, he's a beast. But like, I don't know, he saw a friend at the bottom, and, like screamed his name, and then Superman. But it happens though, and it's just leg fatigue at the end of the day.
Yeah, it's the the risk we take on going fast. So what was the daily routine like to get 7 a day consistently?
So yeah, in 22 or 23, 22 was the first year I did it, the 400. That was, I was pretty much just trying to wake up, like I would get out to the mountain by about 6:30, and then I was done by about 1:30,
And
2:30.
at that time of the year, that's about just before sunrise, right?
Yeah, the sun was pretty much rising. By 7, the sun was up.
You got a sunrise every day. That's nice.
Oh yeah, it was amazing. I think.
And then when were
in
you
both
done
years,
each day, basically?
I was done So in the first year, I finished around like 2:30 every day. You know, I think I was back home by 3-ish.
Not a lot of time to recover before
And
the
so,
next
like,
day
I
starts
know-
all over again.
Well, and that was my goal, was I wanted to be able to sleep and rest and eat.
Yeah.
And have enough time to recover because I knew I was going to have to be out the next day. Later in the month, I was doing more. So I do my 6 or 7 because I was averaging 7, but then there were days I did 9 and 10.
Yeah.
But by the end of the month, I did, like, I would be home by 2:30, 3, eat, take a nap, and then I'd even go back some days and finish 1 or 2 more. And so,
Oh, kind of split it up a bit.
yeah, well, that was getting my 7, and then if I felt good after I
Right.
rested, just like, well, let's go get 1 or 2 more in.
Might as well get one more.
And then, you know, and it's just like, I've definitely noticed, again, that's why one of my mottos is the more you do, the more you can do.
Yeah,
Like-
I like that phrase.
Like, I was up on the peak yesterday, and I've been ramping up training, you know, for the double this year. And I just feel like I did not want to really climb this morning, but
I felt
honestly
you, man.
though, waking up today was a lot easier than I feel like it should be. But it's because I've been ramping up,
Yeah.
because my energy level has been increasing. You know, I just feel like even in a day-to-day, like when I play with my kids at school, like afterwards I am so ramped up and I can go run. Whereas if I just sit and teach and like coach and don't engage that much, I am so tired at the end of the day.
It's funny how just sitting and staying still is so draining.
Yeah.
Like at the end of a road trip, right?
Oh yeah.
Like all you did was sit in a car, but you feel so tired.
Yeah. Or like back when I was coaching soccer and I was a kid in my 20s, you know, like after a full day of coaching, I'd just be sitting all day in the sun. But I, you know, just drained, you know, the sun, and then also just sitting. You know, it's tiring.
Man,
But movement breeds more movement. You know, like this kind of, you know, a body in motion stays in motion. Kind of. That's just like,
Love
this
it.
is so true.
So what was the recovery like when you said you were stopping at about 3 p.m.? You had about,
So yeah, get home, ice. You know, ice with the knees, calves, quads, foam roll, massage gun. And
on the
then-
daily, every single.
Oh, yeah.
Good. It's good
Oh,
to
yeah.
hear. A lot of people don't. They just.
No, foam. I mean, I can't say more about, especially on big efforts like that, massage gun.
Massage gun. Okay.
I mean, if I had the money for a masseuse, for sure, but
Yeah.
I don't. So massage guns.
Is there a
thing.
certain tip on the massage gun that's best, like the ball or?
I like the ball the most, but it really depends. Like some of the other ones for deep tissue stuff, you know. But I mean, I just think using it in general, you really can't go wrong.
Okay. I gotta bust mine out then. I haven't used it in
Oh yeah,
quite some time.
if you're feeling sore, it's definitely good. But then even just for preventativeness, you know, it's good.
During that, either of those 400 years, 400K years, did you have any injuries during the challenge?
No, 23. My knees just really hurt, like out of the gate, you know, because that was, you know, I was a few weeks after the slice of my knee from the marathon.
Yeah, that had to have factored in.
Oh yeah, and then just coming back, you know, a year later, my patella tendons were like, they didn't start to hurt until like, I think like half of the week through week 3 or week 4 in the first time. And then in the second time, 23, they were just pretty much like first week, they started hurting.
The first week. Oh no.
So it was pretty brutal.
And those tendon injuries are like hard to overcome.
I mean, it's just really just overuse. That's
Yeah.
what tendonitis is. It's just overuse. And so I tried to switch it up. You know, I did Mount Emma a lot, which
Where's
is
that at?
closer to my house. Like, it's up Intamin,
Excuse me.
and it's a pretty steep.
So I know Red Mountain, Iron Mountain, but Mount
So
Emma.
it's like Emma. So if you go, you have to go on the other side of the Crystal Park for Intamin,
Yeah.
and then I think it's. I don't know if we
Just
can
on the other side of Iron
I
Mountain?
think it's maybe that point right on the other side of Iron. Right there.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that might be
Okay.
it.
I've seen
But
that on the atlas.
it's a pretty comparable vert mile ratio.
Are there cows on top of it? Is that the one?
No, I don't know, maybe.
Okay.
I don't think there's cows.
You'd have to cross the fence if it's the one I'm thinking
No, I don't think I saw
Okay.
cows. There's
of. So you hiked that one a lot.
I did that one a lot.
Why did you choose to do that versus the
Well,
incline?
it's just like I wanted to switch it up. The downhill on this was the stairs. I felt like was maybe
Yeah.
contributing to some of it's really high impact for some of the trails, are softer.
That's very true. It
And
is.
so I did a lot of Rocky Mountain as well, like
Okay, yeah.
tons of laps up there. I'd finish
Get some dirt work.
an incline and then just go up to the top and just stay up there for a little bit. And I think also like I would do, like I was playing around with like what's most efficient, like going from the top back down to like 1800 like here.
Oh, okay, and just do sets from there.
And just do sets, or start at the bottom and just do sets up to like 16. Because that's
So much lower impact.
so much lower impact. The grade is so much easier. Whereas like if you look at the grade right now,
Yeah.
this is like the 67 percent grade that we have, the steepest grade. So just trying to maybe avoid that.
The biggest question I have is how did you fight the boredom? Because
Oh.
you're out here for so many
So-
hours. It's got to be numbing.
Well, for sure, it was definitely having friends out here, like having Eric and Laura, and just the whole community. John was out here every day, Bob was out here every day. Just
So it's like every 10 minutes you get to knuckle bump somebody.
there was always something happening,
Yeah.
Like you'd see someone coming down, or you were coming up, or whatever, and it's just like you start screaming their name.
Okay.
It's just the vibe, But then I was also listening to music every day. I was definitely dancing a lot, just on the stairs, just trying to vibe. And I felt like when I did that, just
Got it.
just kind of get into a flow.
Did you have some go-to bands and playlists?
Just like electronic and stuff. I think another guy, I can't remember his name, but he's like super funky, kind of like happy, just, I can't remember his name right at the moment. But I know I listened to a lot of him in 23. But then I just like a lot of electronic music too, so.
So then getting to, after you did your 400K years, was that before or after you did your really fast doublers?
That was before. So the fast doublers were 24, 25.
Do you attribute the fast
Oh, yeah.
doublers to doing all that vert here?
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, I think, any good runner knows like you just have to have a good base. And I think, the incline, I mean, even we're moving this slow, my heart rate's at 131, which is, I mean, it's
Like
zone
zone
2,
two,
so
yeah.
it's really not that high. But this is what normally is, like, I would be running to get this heart rate normally, and like,
Yeah.
the incline simulates you running and doing intervals and stuff at a high heart rate without actually running. And so, and then also just stairs, using your quads way more. Sure is building up leg strength. So, and then, I mean, that's what the marathon, do you know what this is about?
That got added on Saturday.
Like,
Gary and I were talking about it because it was in
well, Bob sent me a picture too. He's like, what is this? I'm like, I don't know.
If you're not watching or you can see, there's somebody added a extra red plate to the stairs at stair. 1994.
I know for a long time I had seen like a marker of 1994 that was maybe removed,
Okay.
like some graffiti. So I don't know.
I'm imagining maybe it's somebody's birth year or
That's
something.
what I thought. That's what I said to Bob. I was like, I think birth year?
But it showed up at 9 a.m. on Saturday.
Yeah.
And Gary and I, he was coming down, I was going up, and he goes, did you see the thing? And I was like, what thing?
Yeah.
And then there it was, so someone
Yeah.
put it in.
Well, it looks like it'd be easy to remove.
Yeah,
It's
I
just got
guess I
normal
would.
Screws.
You can't just add stuff to the
Yeah,
stairs.
I mean,
so.
because if that, now there's gonna be, everyone gets their own stair, and decorate
Yeah.
it. Like only 3,000. I mean that would be a kind of a cool fundraiser, if like the
If there's ads on every
donate.
stair.
Well, like we'll just maybe not an ad, but
With like a name
or I don't
dedicated
know,
to Rick Webb.
yeah, I don't know. That would be kind of fun, but also don't want to bring out graffiti and stuff.
Yeah.
But that's a weird sign. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll get it taken care of.
Yeah.
So I want to emphasize the importance, or not the importance, but how impressive it is to place in the top 4 or top 3 of the Pikes Peak Doubler, because you're running against world famous runners in these races.
Yeah.
And to do the doubler, you have to do the Ascent on the first day
Yep.
and the marathon on the second day.
Yeah.
With no rest, like in between.
Yeah, there's really not a lot of time to recover at all. You're summiting the mountain twice in a weekend, so yeah, I mean, most people have a hard enough time summiting once. I mean, not that I don't either. I mean, it's hard. Every summit is still a challenge. Whether they're 3 hours or 5 hours or 10 hours, it doesn't matter. It's still hard.
It's a big mountain.
Still
There's a lot of
13
miles to get up there.
Still 13 miles up 8,000 feet. So,
Yeah. So
yeah.
what was the toughest part of those weekends?
It's the marathon for sure. I mean, so in 24, we actually had the race cut short on that Sunday. So it only went to bar camp
Oh yeah.
because of the snow.
Yeah, I remember
And so
that.
the snow was kind of an issue.
There was a lot of snow that day.
Yeah. And so, I mean, it was awesome. I was ready to, and so 24 though, I'm a little upset about it because that's when I get my 3:07 on the Ascent, 3 hours and 7 minutes up. And then that Sunday was the
That
mare.
is so crazy fast.
And I was feeling better on that Sunday than I did on the Saturday.
So that was
Which
your
again,
weekend.
like sometimes that's how I felt through the Vert competitions, like just multiple days stringed together. And then when you feel like you should be dead tired and exhausted, you're actually like Superman.
Wow.
You know, like, so I felt so good to do the mare, but then we got cut short to bar. I mean, maybe that helped contribute to me getting third that year. I didn't have to do the full mountain. It was, you know, I'm still proud of the effort and I did well. And I think that year I placed 33rd in the mare. So that's my best finish, I think, you know, total for the marathon.
Are you planning to do it again this year?
Yep, I'm signed up for the double this year. And
Okay.
so we'll see. You know, I always just tell myself, you know, I really want to push on the Ascent, and then just we'll see what I have in the tank for the Sunday, for the marathon. And if I can push and go, great. If it's just gonna be a slog and I just got to get it done, also great. But like, you know, we'll just see how I go. So, I mean, that's how it was in 25. Last year, the marathon was really hard to wake up for. I don't know. I feel like just, you know, I don't know. Training was a little bit more off in 25 because I tore my calf in March.
Oh
And
yeah,
then-
that's a wild story.
I did that
Snowboarding, right?
Yeah.
You want to mention that real quick?
Yeah,
Because
so
a calf
March-
tear usually shuts people down for a
So
while.
I was done for about a month. You know, I think I started running on day like slowly running, like half mile, like just seeing what I could maybe do, like after week 2. But
Dang, 2
like,
weeks.
I mean, it felt like a slow recovery though, like before because I was doing quite a bit before that too, and then have that happen. So like going into the summer, you know, I don't feel like I was as fit as normal. So then like ramping up through the summer, and then end of July, I did something to my hip, and my hip flexor was all messed up to the point where I couldn't even run like 5 feet.
Oh my gosh.
And so like,
It was really tight or pulled or?
I think I did something coaching at school. I just like tweaked it, or I did something up on Shivano. I really don't know.
Yeah.
It's just one of those injuries that like, it's like a slow burn. It just
Sticks with
It's
you.
just like, well, it just kind of snuck in there, and all of a sudden it was there. So going into 25, I couldn't train pretty much the entire month of August, and then
That's rough.
slow back in,
Yeah.
you know, in September. The race is mid-September, so to do the 38 miles, I just wasn't as prepared as I was in 24, you know, because of the injury.
And how does it feel going into the months coming up to the race this year? Do you feel like you're the best prepared you've ever been, or?
I wouldn't say best prepared. You know, running is just so, it's a roller coaster, you know. It's constantly, it's just, I mean, we're human beings. It's hard to stay,
At the
you know,
peak.
you peak all the time. Like, we're just, you know, life happens, you know. So I rolled my ankle, what is it? I'm on, this year, it's the only injury I've really had, but I rolled my ankle like 3 weeks ago. And so, you know, I had to took a full week off from that. So that put me back a little bit. The wildfires that started up was right when I was starting like up high.
Yeah. It's been
But
a
then-
rowdy summer with the smoke.
But then the smoke happened, and so like wanting to let that go down. And then I rolled my ankle. So I really haven't been up high as much as I want, but I'm feeling good. You know, good enough to at least give my best shot and see what I can do. You know, get it done. And if I can push on race day, fantastic. If not, you know, I know I'll at least get it done. So
And do you have any other races that you like to do, or are you mainly Pikes Peak guy?
Well, I just living in Manitou, you know, I really don't run to race kind of thing. Like, so many people ask me, like, what are you training for? What are you training for?
Yeah, life.
And I'm like, yeah, that's always my answer is life. Like, I'm like, why do I have to be training for anything? Just to be out here, you know, enjoying nature and doing what I love. Waking up at 4:30 this morning to be up here.
That's right.
You know, when I couldn't get to sleep until midnight last night, you know,
Ooh,
like,
it's tough.
but like, no, I mean, being a Manitou resident, I love just being able to walk out my door to one of the, you know, a world-class race. It's very,
It's
very
so
blessed,
cool, right?
very blessed for that. So,
It's so amazing.
so I just think that's part of it. But I don't know. I mean, it's not that I don't do other races. I just don't really focus on doing that. I just like to run and do, you know, trying to push on the Pikes Peak races. And I really just like to run mountains at the end of the day and, you know, be above tree line.
Do you remember the first time you saw the races, the Pikes Peak races?
Oh, man. Yeah, it would have probably been 2018, 19, you know, when I first moved here, and I thought it was crazy. You know, like how so many people were like, yeah, you're going to just go hike Pikes Peak with 2,000 of your best friends.
And you're going to do it in a few hours.
But, like, I never realized, like, but if you're fast, it's actually, it opens up. But if you're in the back, like,
You're
you're stuck.
Yeah.
And it's a trail or a
Congo
train.
line.
It's Congo line.
Yeah.
It's like Everest. But being in the front of the pack, it's at least, you know, somewhat more enjoyable, like a normal trail run. Like, and you're around, you know, I've met some cool runners and people, you know, in the community just like that way. So
I remember the first time I saw it, maybe it was 2015 or 2016, and we had no idea it was happening. We drove to Manitou,
yeah,
and it was like all the crowds, right? We're like, what is going on?
that's crazy.
And we parked somewhere, probably at the school, the high school, walked down, and all the waves are going. And it was just such a cool feeling. You know, the emotions that happen when people are launching in their waves. And you got the speaker on the microphone, all the crowds with the cowbells, everyone's cheering.
Yeah.
It was such a euphoric feeling.
It is definitely awesome, for
I was
sure.
like, I'm going to run this one day.
Yeah. Have you run it yet?
I've run it a couple times,
Yeah.
the Ascent. Haven't done a doubler. I can't even imagine how hard that would be.
Yeah, I mean, it's all a mind thing, you know, and you start telling yourself it's possible and you can
Hey,
do
good morning.
it.
Yeah, it's such a cool feeling to like see everyone they've been training and building up for that moment. And then for the marathon, it's neat too because you get to see everyone running down the
I
hill.
love that. Hey, great to see you. Good to see you.
It's neat that the finish line is in the middle of the city,
Yeah, well, that's
almost right where you started.
It would be kind of neat. Like, it's just unfortunate, like, the summit's not bigger, or like, it would be really cool. I mean, that's just what's so cool about the finish line of the mare, is that it is in town. And so, I mean, you run right by the loop, and like, it's just like right there on Manitou Ave. And so, it's just really cool to watch.
Yeah, you get to start with the crowd cheering you on and then
Yeah.
end with the crowd cheering you on. Because on the Ascent, it's pretty empty up there once
Well,
you
I
finish.
mean, there are people up there. I mean, I usually, being a local, you know, I feel like I normally have at least a couple people up there that I know.
That's good. Like some of the officials and volunteers.
Yeah, that, or maybe another older racer who's not racing is up there. I don't know, just like, I don't know, I feel like I would normally see someone up there I know.
That's cool. So it looks like we got about 3 more minutes at this pace. Let's do some lightning questions.
Sweet.
You've accomplished some pretty big things in your life. What's next?
Well, you know, I just want to keep on running, and like being injured last year, my thought is like, I love what I do, and I don't want to keep, and like why I do what I do is that I want to be a lifelong athlete kind of thing. And I feel like that's kind of making me rethink, like, I don't need to push all the time, or like I can try to be just content with where I'm at, and just, you know, so like just being more, you know, just being able to run for life is my goal, really.
Yeah.
So
That balance of breaking the body down too much versus
And,
pushing
like,
yourself.
and making sure, like, you know, nutrition is on point, you know, because our food is just, it's already hard enough to find, you know, good quality food I feel like. And so like just making sure your nutrition is on point, and like just the recovery and just the lifestyle, you know, just keeping going with that. And so as far as what's next, like just to continue, you know, doing what I'm doing and, you know, not stop, you know, like so many people I feel like, you know, they do an effort, I do something and then they're like, oh, they kind of slow down and they stop or they move on to something else. You know, this is something I'm doing for life.
Yeah,
So
for longevity.
yeah.
Favorite local trail?
Well, favorite, you know, I don't do it as much, but I think Williams Canyon is probably
So sweet
one of
back
my
there.
favorite. You know, and
With the waterfall,
The
and
waterfall-
the huge canyons.
it is so dead right now, the water. It's really sad to see, like so many spots that always have water
Yeah.
are dry. I actually ran over a snake the other day.
No way.
I was like, oh crap, that's a snake. I looked it up after because I couldn't see the head or tail. And I mean, it was either a bull or a rattle. Pretty sure it was a bull. But yeah, Williams, I think. It's just got everything, you know. It got the canyon vibes, waterfall vibes.
There's some caves up there.
You go to the top to Rampart, you got the views on both sides.
Yeah.
I mean, and
Those
then you
cliffs are really tall too. Like,
Yeah, I
it's
mean-
shocking how big they are.
well, yeah, running underneath the caves is really cool. And then like running into Waldo, you know, that's a whole nother. Waldo's awesome. I've only been in there once, but Waldo's super fun.
What's the next bushwhack you're planning? Or favorite bushwhack peak? One of the two.
Well, I think when I did Mount Yale up and over, I started in, what is it, the Avalanche parking lot, trailhead. So it's on the west or east side of Yale. And so it's not the conventional route. You just go up Avalanche and then you divert off and then basically start to go up the valley
Okay.
to the ridge, up and over it from the east side versus the west side on the traditional route. And then you go down to the other side to Columbia. You go down Airplane Gulch, which is really cool because it's called Airplane Gulch because an airplane crashed there. So there's literally just like debris through the whole way.
Wow.
It's epic.
Broken trees and stuff too. And like
Oh
a
yeah,
scar on
I
the
mean
ground?
it's all bushwhack. It's a part of Nolan's 14 route, so it's what strings together all the collegiate peaks. There's a route called Nolan's 14.
That's a pretty amazing FKT
Yeah.
story.
Yeah.
Okay,
So-
30 seconds. What is your favorite peak in the Pikes Peak National?
Pikes.
Pike is your favorite?
Oh yeah. Well, then maybe Sentinel, just because
Sentinel Rock or Sentinel Point?
Sentinel Point.
Okay, on the west side.
Just because whenever I do Sentinel, I don't see anybody,
That is a very empty part
and
of the
that's where I
mountain.
saw the moose.
Yeah.
And it's just awesome over there.
Yeah, and climbing up those crags at the end.
Yeah.
And then you can start to see the bowl on the backside of
Yeah.
Devil's Playground.
So cool.
All right, cool, Rick. Well, appreciate you hiking with me today.
Thanks for having me, Trevor. It's been fun.
Really great to have this conversation.
Yeah.
And thanks for listening, everybody. Hope that was inspiring to you. Take care.